Hey girl, what's up?
Wanna watch a movie?
Yeah. Hey guys, what's up? We're watching a movie.
Yeah, Vietnam Thursday.
What's that about?
Here, read the back of the summary. But I'm not gonna let you watch it if you ask a ton of questions like you normally do.
I won't. Vietnam Thursday is the story of a psychologist and his patient, a woman severely affected by experiencing Vietnam. The patient now seeks therapy to get over these traumatic experiences. Little does she know that the psychologist is incredibly lonely himself and he has no connections with human life outside of his work. His relationships with others are so non-existent that he even finds himself staying in his office overnight because there's no one else to go home to see. After multiple sessions, the patient grows closer and more comfortable with the psychologist. Because of this, the two end up establishing some kind of relationship that is centered around mutual loneliness.
So you wanna watch it?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Wait, I have a question.
What's up?
Okay, why is the patient from Vietnam visiting a psychiatrist if she knows she won't get better?
Well, she's a victim of extreme depression and post-traumatic stress disorder from the war.
What are those?
You know, sometimes people with depression have difficulty concentrating or overwhelming, uncontrollable negative thoughts, increase in alcohol consumption or reckless behavior, thoughts that your life is not worth living, or feelings of helplessness.
Okay, so she's depressed and seeking medical attention. And when you mentioned reckless behavior, I'm assuming that's where she's cutting herself. And then the negative thoughts are how she keeps saying she knows she won't get better.
Exactly.
So then why does a woman from Vietnam say that she won't get better? I know she's depressed, but doesn't she think that going to a psychiatrist will help?
You see, that is a part of her depression speaking. Hopelessness and negative thoughts are very common in people with depression, and it is something that they can't control.
Yeah, this also ties in with the post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. She's so traumatized by her experiences that she had in Vietnam, so now she lives her life in constant fear and reliving the flashbacks from what happened to her and her family and the pain that it caused her.
So what happened to her family?
Well, she watched her dad get hit in the face with a bomb during the War of Vietnam. She was ripped away from her father and unable to get him the help that he needed because only she and her mother were saved by the American soldiers. This brings not only the horrific memories from the war, but also the guilt of not being able to save her father from Vietnam.
Oh wow, that's terrible. What does she mean when she says she feels like Vietnam?
Vietnam is the word for her that all went wrong to the patient. Vietnam is an adjective to her that means indefinitely sad and misery. It is the first word that comes to her mind when she thinks how she feels every day. Because every single day she relives those terrible experiences, so for her, every day it's Vietnam.
So why does she explain Vietnam with such gruesome detail? It seems like she's stuck in the past.
Exactly that. She is living her life in the past and is unable to move on from the pain that she felt.
Wow, okay, let's keep watching. Okay, I have another question. Why does this woman from Vietnam keep cutting herself? I know she's depressed, but is that all there is to it?
Well, depression is not something people can control. A lot of times people are getting so tired of not being able to feel any sort of emotion, whether it's happy, sad, or even angry, that they find ways to cause themselves physical pain in order to at least give them some sort of sensation of being alive.
So what you're saying is that she cuts herself as a way to control her own pain?
Right. When she cuts herself, she is the one that is causing the pain, and she is in control of not only her body, but is also the way she is feeling, which because of her depression is usually not the case.
Okay, sorry, one more question.
Ugh, what is it?
Okay, so the psychiatrist is in love with the woman from Vietnam?
No, not necessarily. But the psychiatrist does admire that she asks him about him every now and then. She is the only one of his patients to do so. So she becomes closer to him than other patients.
Yeah, like if you noticed, he made a comment about how no one else asks about him and how he's doing, and that it meant a lot to him when she does so. She feels an emotional void for him that he typically tries to replace with the computer system, Eliza, I think it is. Although he knows she will never improve, he also knows that she will always need him to confide in. He also never has anyone else ask about how he's doing, whereas she often does ask about him, and that makes him feel appreciated and important to her.
Okay, let's keep watching.
That's the end of the movie.
Wait, what? Did they go to Graceland?
We don't know, it doesn't say.
Oh, so many questions are left unanswered.
Like what?
Well, is the woman in love with a psychiatrist? Is that why she keeps inviting him over to her house?
No. As we saw throughout the movie, the woman struggled to get the therapist to understand how she felt on the inside emotionally, so she takes him home to show him how much it hurts her on the outside with her scars.
By cutting herself?
Exactly. She wants him to understand her, to see her as something other than just a patient or as a person who is physically and emotionally struggling because of her past experiences and depression. She didn't undress in front of the therapist to be provocative. She just wants him to understand her. She knows that they were getting no further in their therapy sessions with just her speaking through her pain, so she wanted to show him. But what I don't understand is the therapist helping the Vietnamese woman, or is she helping him?
Both. The therapist gives the Vietnamese woman someone to talk to and confide in. And for him, she is someone who expresses care for him, which is what he needs from a significant other.
Okay, I'm confused on why the therapist was so fixated on this computer named Eliza. Is he like in a relationship with her or something?
No, not a relationship, but he does rely heavily on the computer program as a support system. He's constantly feeling lonely, and he wants to be acknowledged and feel important to somebody. This is the only person who he thinks he can have an actual conversation with about his feelings.
Well, what about the Vietnam patient then? Can he talk to her? He feels closer to her than anyone else.
Exactly. That's why in the story, when the Vietnam woman asked how he was doing while she was at her house, he responds with a real detailed answer about his fears and his life experiences that shaped him into being the person that he is. He never opens up to anyone else like that, not even the computer system, because he knows Eliza will never actually help him. So for the first time ever, he talks about himself without being afraid.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, thanks for answering all my questions. Sorry there's so many. I just feel like there's a lot more to the story than what hits the surface.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for letting me come over.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for having me. I'll see you in class on
All
Wednesday.
right, bye, girl.